But I wanted to show you some of the stuff that I have sold on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. I decided to add Mercari to the mix. And I actually want to be able to show you and not poorly show you on my phone. So I am doing a screen capture. All right, let me get the first tab loaded. So these sales are between January 27th through this morning. Sorry, my internet is running. These tabs are already loaded and it's taking forever. Maybe if I go over here, start with Mercari. So I got these at my local 99-cent only store. I'd had a hard time selling them on eBay because people were selling them for like $8 with free shipping, and they're over £1. So I wanted to know how they did that. So I decided to move them over to Mercari, and I sold the first one in 4 days and created a new listing for the other one. Next, I am going to go to Poshmark. I had 2 sales this past Saturday on Poshmark, and I shipped them out already. If any of you remember the Beguile Byron Lars dress that I have from one of my past haul videos, I finally sold that any day now. Why did it stop? No, it's still recording. Okay. So I sold this. I sold it for $130. My take home after this was $104, and I believe I said I paid what, $7 for the dress. So that was a pretty nice profit right there. The other item that I sold on Poshmark, it was Alberto Macaulay. I got this for $1 at Father Joe's on Friday for their $1 tag sale. This actually sold pretty quickly. Yay! I am so sorry, y'all. My stupid internet is just not going very well. So this jacket was blue crushed velvet with this beautiful chiffon trim. Again, I got this for $1. I listed it at $40. I'd sent an offer to Likers and they came back with $32. So I was like, you know what? I only paid $1. I'll take a $25 profit. $24 after cost of goods. So I had that sale and I got my first 5-star feedback. That was awesome. All right, time for some eBay sales. We're going to work in order from soonest back on because that seems to be moving a lot faster. As soon as it loads, I tried to preload these, but apparently my computer is not cooperating right now. All right, so I sold, oh no, this is the oldest. Never mind. Okay, so I sold this beautiful 80s, 90s Wisteria by Diane Samandi Peg Noir set. It was a 2-piece with the gown and the robe. I forgot the word there for a second. I got this for about $8, sold it for $105, and the buyer paid shipping. Next item that I sold as soon as it loads was this Catherine's blouse. I got this for $2 on a half off day at a thrift store. It was in really great condition, cute with little roll tab sleeves, little polka dot print. That was a size, Catherine's size 1X. Next item, oh, that sold for $25 as you saw. Okay, all right, so I'd had this for a while. I'd recently turned on best offer for anything like $35 or higher, and I've been having some pretty good results. I kind of turn it on and off depending on how many lowball offers I get. Lately I've when I ran a sale this weekend and last weekend, I was having people like not even making an offer on top of my sale. So that was pretty awesome. This was an item. I had it listed at $48.99 or best offer. They bought it at my sale price of $48.99, and I actually sold it to a buyer in Canada. I do ship international. The brand was Laguna Beach jeans, a little casual shirt, very over the top and loud, thick stitching, great graphics. I believe I paid about $2 or $3 for this at Salvation Army before they did away with the 75% off 10 days or older sale on Mondays. I miss that. Rest in peace. All right, next item up as soon as it loads. All right, this coach. I sold a coach. So, pretty awesome. I was at one thrift store and the price that was on there came off. So I was like, well, how much would this purse be? And they didn't know what it was. And there obviously wasn't Coach like emblazoned all over it. So she was like, how about $6? I'm like, okay. And then when I spent $25 or more that day, I got 40% off. So I only paid like $4 for this coach. It's older. It was in really great condition. I actually sold it on best offer of $45. The buyer paid shipping. And then after this, I had found this item at Salvation Army for $5. As soon as I parked and pulled up, I already knew what it was sitting on the mannequin. Yes, I pulled this thing off of the mannequin because I knew what it was. Whoop. So this is a lady's ballroom dress, right? It's older, it's handmade, but you know what? Ballroom dresses are expensive. You're talking thousands of dollars, and especially if it's one here made in the States and it's a designer. This has got the little El Cheapo rhinestones, but they still sparkled really nicely. This one is for standard, which is why it has, those are called floats. Those are the cuffs down there, because with standard versus American smooth, you never leave your frame. You're always dancing in closed position, so you never run the risk of getting caught in that. So yeah, got that for $5. I took an offer of $200. Buyer paid shipping. That was a pretty nice little profit right there. Next item. Remember how I told you that I had a bunch of skirts to list? I had a tub of skirts. Well, I got them listed that week. Ended up being about 20, I think. Wasn't too bad. Actually still have one more of these. I have two. Faded Glory denim mermaid skirt. They're both the same shade, size, even the same measurements. Both had no stains. I sold this first one for $17 plus shipping. I paid $1 for this. Yes, I got $17 for a Faded Glory skirt, but it's because the silhouette. If it's a silhouette they want, you can definitely get a little bit more money for that brand. I mean, you're not going to get $60 for a Faded Glory, but hey, I'll take $17 for a Walmart skirt. I don't know about you guys, especially when it didn't require too much effort. All right, next item. So guys, I know it's frustrating because thrift stores are pricing things higher and higher. They're trying to compete with eBay, price things like they're eBay when they're really not, but they don't always catch everything. I ended up getting this Toomey laptop bag. It was Black Friday at Salvation Army. They had a deal where between 6 and 9 a.m. the entire store was 75% off. The lines were through the store. It was ridiculous. It was awesome. I actually went to 2 that day. Found so much great stuff. And one of the things I found was this Toomey. Nice little nylon outer with leather strap accents. I got this bag, so it was $18, 75% off, so it was $4.75. I did have best offer, but they chose to buy it at my sale price of $85. They paid shipping. And yes, I actually managed to ship that for about $8.99, and I used a service called Pirate Ship. They offer cubic priority. So if you have really heavy things, but they're in smaller sizes, you can save a lot of money, or even save the buyer a lot of money. I shipped a 5-pound beaded dress through Pirate Ship, and I actually have that coming up here somewhere. Next item is, oh, okay, let me tell you a little secret. So there's different tiers to Ralph Lauren, right? The highest is going to be your purple label. You've got the black label, and then everything else below that, right? So the purple, that is my unicorn. I have not found purple label yet, but I have found black label 3 times, and it sells very quickly and for pretty decent money. I got this black label wool blend skirt, paid about $2.75 for it. That is the tag. That is the black label that you're looking for. I have also sold a vest, a silk blouse. So if you find Ralph Lauren black label for a decent price, pick it up, because it will sell, and it will sell for a really good amount. Next on the list is this men's Zegna 2-button blazer. It was wool, it was super soft. I found this for, I believe, oh, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. Next thing I sold, I finally sold my mongoose. Yes, that is a mongoose. People keep calling this a lemur. He is not a lemur. That is a mongoose. I know he looks like a lemur. And the cute thing is if you press his tail, he makes little mongoose noises. I mean, look at that. Look at that face. Look at that. He's a cute little guy. Sold him for $33.99. I only paid like $2 for him. I actually recently ended that, sold similar and lowered the price, and then it sold within like 2 weeks after I did that. So sometimes if you have something that's stale, end it, sell similar, either raise or lower the price, and it'll be more likely to sell. Alright, so now we're at the Zegna men's blazer. I got this for, I think jackets were $6.49, so I paid $6.49 for this, or did I pay $1 for this? I'll have to check my little book. I paid $1 or $6.49. Regardless, I ended up taking an offer on this. I opted for the quick flip, the quick nickel versus the slow dime on this one. Why? Because I got an offer of $95 and I said screw it, and I took it, and it's sold to an international buyer. It is on its way to London. If you're ever interested in shipping internationally on your own, on eBay or other well, I don't know about other platforms, but on eBay, you can offer it direct, and you can actually save the buyer's money. So if you want to hear a video talking about GSP versus shipping on your own, let me know down below. I'd be happy to talk about that. I ship all the time, international a lot. It actually, my PayPal report tells me that it's counts for 20% of my sales, and my top 3 countries are actually Germany, Australia, and I think Canada. Alright, I took an offer on this dress. I got it at Salvation Army. I did not pay a lot of money for it. I'd had a Groupon, there was deals, so this came out to the equivalent of like about $3. It is a fully beaded and rhinestone gown, floor length with a high slit. The brand is Dolce Vita. Overall, Dolce Vita is not a great seller, at least not on eBay. So unless it's something really extraordinary, you're getting it for a great price, it's something that's on trend, I would pass. I took an offer of $45 on it because it had been listed for a while and I wanted it gone, and I still made a decent profit on it. Next item that I sold, I paid $2 for these vintage Lee jeans. I knew they were vintage because of the zipper pull as soon as it loads. They have a beautiful fade on them that was natural. This was not factory made. I mean, look at that. You can't while you can make it, it's not the same as it occurring naturally on these jeans. Here's the back pocket, and let me show you the zipper pull. That is a Talon 42 zipper. That means it could be anywhere from like late 60s, and they kept using them up until around the 80s. And it has a union tag. Whenever you have a union tag, mention it. Show the picture if you have enough room in there, because for people who really love vintage stuff, this is an added bonus. I took an offer of $30 on these jeans. I only paid $2 for them. They shipped in a padded flat rate. Next item. I got this at Goodwill for, I think I overpaid a little bit. I believe I paid, I think it was like $7, but it actually sold, oh, sorry, wrong item, I'm jumping ahead. I sold vintage wrapping paper for $15. People buy vintage wrapping paper, and the older it is, the better graphics. And if you ever come across like a huge roll of vintage wrapping paper, like from a department store, and it's dirt cheap, grab it. Grab it, because it will go for good money, and buyers will pay the shipping. They know it's going to cost an arm and a leg, but they will pay it. So if you ever find old huge rolls of department store wrapping paper, and it can't be boring, right? It has better graphics, help. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of sheets this similar for like $1, and I sold 3 sheets for $17 plus shipping. All right, now is the Western Series shirt. As soon as it loads again, maybe as I get through these tabs, it'll start moving a little bit faster. Like I said, I got this from Goodwill. I believe it was about $8.99. I overpaid for it, but it did sell pretty quickly. So my profit on this one wasn't huge, but it did sell. It didn't have a size tag, so I estimated based on all the stuff that I've measured in the past. Sold it for $30. Next was this dress. I would never buy this ever again. I'm so glad it's gone. It's actually sold twice and was returned to me twice. Just a little Asian style dress. Now, if it's actually a brand and a good brand, oh yeah, I'd definitely, pick something like this up. But these nondescript sheath dresses, no. Maybe if it's silk, pick it up. Oh, look at that, the pictures. Yeah, this was a pretty old, so yeah, no. But I managed to, I had best offer on that, and they chose to pay that price. Glad to see it gone. All right, my Carl Connie baggy jeans. I got these for about $3. And again, this was something that I recently had best offer on, and they chose to buy it at my full price. They sold for $60. I had the great little seaming detail across the front. Here is the back pocket. Buyer paid shipping. Here is the tag. I had a pretty decent size of 36 with a really long inseam. Next item that I sold. So one day last week, I decided to do a Hail Mary, try a 24-hour flash sale where I put all of my sweaters and coats, well, almost all, at 50% off. Only one thing sold. I personally find that 50% off sales don't do very well for me, so I try not to do them too often. I find that the smaller percentages work better for me. One of the things that did sell was this Michael Simon sleeveless knit top with the little floral still life on here. It's got embroidery, it's got beads, it's got sequins. Let me get you a close-up of the tag. That is the tag. Now, keep in mind, you have Michael Simon and you have Michael Simon Light. That is the lower end line. So be aware of the difference. You're not going to get the same price for Michael Simon Light as you will Michael Simon, unless it's got something that somebody really, really wants. Next item that I sold. Make sure I'm still recording. Yes, it looks like I'm still recording. All right, so there's this random place up in Escondido. Dude's got a warehouse. The more you buy it, cheaper it gets. Usually it's like $2 a piece. He's got clothing, shoes, purses. I usually buy enough where he only charges me $1 a piece. This is one of those items that I got for $1. Adult dancewear. Said extra, extra large, but it was more like an extra large based on fit and measurements, and I threw in the keywords jazz, cabaret, Halloween, cosplay. I can totally see somebody doing a Liza Minnelli in this right here. The brand is Revolution Dancewear. If you can find it cheap enough, like $1 or $2, and it's the bigger sizes, or if it's really elaborate, it's worth picking up. Dancewear is, like I said before, it's not very cheap. All right, next up was this t-shirt that I got at a bag sale, so it really didn't cost me a ton of money. From Barefoot Bar and Grill. As soon as it loads, there we go. Barefoot Bar Hula Grill in Hawaii. No shoes, no problem. I sold this for $24.99 plus shipping, size large. Don't mind that. I stuck pool noodles in the shoulders to kind of fill it out a little bit better so it didn't look so pathetic on my female mannequin. Click to enlarge. I didn't want to enlarge, but that's okay. It had a couple of small stains, of which I disclosed and took pictures of. That was the back, basically the same as the front. Next item, I sold a Commodore 64 128 video game. I got it. I was at Father Joe's one day, and I saw all of the Commodore 64 games just sitting there in a pile, and there was no price. So I basically got a bunch of them for like 50 cents a piece. They did have the actual computer, but they priced that at like $90. They priced it at a collector's price, so there was no money to have been made at all on that. I had it at $49 or best offer. I took an offer of $45 and I actually shipped it to Germany. It is on its way to Germany. I like shipping internationally. I think it's fun seeing where my items are actually going, and I keep track of the countries that I've shipped to so far. Let's see, I have shipped to Canada, Japan, Australia, France, Ireland, Norway, Italy, Russia, Czech Republic, Iceland, Chile, Switzerland, and Germany. I'm still waiting so I can check off another one on my list. So that was a pretty great sale right there. All right. This was one of the days where Father Joe's had a sale for a holiday. All clothing was $2 a piece, and I went to town, right? I got tons of great stuff, not just stuff, but stuff that's gonna sell. One of them was this Betsy Johnson dress, stretch velvet in a snake skin print with lace trim, very stretchy. Sold that for $119 plus shipping. There's the tag right there. Next item, I only paid about $2 for this men's shirt. The brand is Lorenzo Uomo. I'm probably butchering that, but that's okay. A men's dress shirt, plaid, in really good condition. It felt like it had never been worn, but I always just stick to the facts. No rips, tears, or stains. Does it still have the replacement buttons? Like if the fabric is still crisp, I will say that. Or if there's pilling, I will mention that. But I avoid using excellent, good, poor, because those are subjective, right? Everybody's idea of excellent condition for this shirt would be different, right? Somebody would think, no, this would be excellent if it had the tags on it. So if you do it and it still works for you, that's fine. Do what works for you. But because sometimes if you get a buyer that feels like you misstated the item, it can kind of come back to bite you in the butt. There was one day I found a ton of vintage Oshkosh 80s and 90s clothing. The shirts were only 50 cents a piece. I actually sold 2 to the same buyer. They were both a girl's size 6. Had little floral prints, little turtlenecks. So I sold them both. Come on, load up. This one's a little bit cuter. This was in really great condition, especially for being an older kid's shirt. Let me show you the tags. All right, so there's that tag. There is that tag, right? This was made in America. That's how I knew that it was vintage. Didn't get a lot for it, but hey, I turned 50 cents into $8.50 and the buyer paid shipping. They bought 2. All right, this I'd had listed for a while. I was glad to see it go. They actually sent me an offer of 20 bucks, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not willing to let it go for that cheap, so I countered at 30. 30? Yeah, I think 30. Yeah, I countered at 30 or $35, and they accepted a vintage Hawaiian dress, Liberty House. It had a really cool feature. It had kind of like a cape front. Here is a better shot of it. You can tell some of my older listings before I upgraded my lighting setup. My lighting setup now is so much better. It's brighter. I figured out how to use the settings on my camera. This item was free. It came from my mom's closet. She was doing a purge, so I was looking up some of the stuff that she had, and this was worth listing. A long sleeve men's West Coast Choppers t-shirt, Long Beach, California, front and back graphics. I had graphics going down the sleeves. That sold for $25.50. Buyer paid shipping. Okay, I got this, I want to say last Friday at Father Joe's. It had a stain on it. The stain didn't come out, so I threw it up at auction in an attempt to at least make my money back, maybe make a little bit on it. It only sold for the opening bid of, come on computer, we're almost done, $15. The buyer paid shipping. It was technically a kid's. But that is why I put will fit small adult in the title, and I repeated a lot that this is technically a kid's shirt. So we can come down here where you can see in the condition I put kids size extra large, and I repeated in the details it is a kid's extra large, tag size is of child's extra large. So, and you can see why I said that it's adult. It's got a 38-inch chest. It was super wide. So it probably is going to an adult. Hey, so I made a little bit of money, not too much money on that, but that's okay. All right. I sold this. This was something I got at my denim honey hole where I get jeans and clothes for like $2 a piece. It had some discolorations on the sleeve that didn't come out. Otherwise, I would have listed this for a much higher price. So how you know that it's 90s chaps versus the newer? Because somewhere around the late 90s is when Ralph Lauren removed his name from the tag. So if it says chaps Ralph Lauren, it's gonna be 90s or older. So here's the tag. It had the little embroidered crest. Here's the whole shot. Great 90s theme going on here. All these different mixed stripes, mixed patterns. I disclosed the discolorations. It sold for the opening bid of $10. It was only one bid. Buyer upped his maximum bid. That's what happens if you were ever wondering why you got another bid and it didn't change. That's why. Somebody upping their maximum bid. This is going to a buyer in Chile. Next, I got a bunch of these dresses. They are only like $3.99 a pop. But since I got multiples, I'm okay with the selling price because I only had to create one listing. Living Dead Souls dress. Black. It's got grommets. Fun little rockabilly punk detailing on here. A-line. Stretch cotton. Sold for $25.50. And last that I woke up to that sold this morning, I've already shipped it out. If I wake up and there's a sale, especially if it's sold the night before, I have to pull it. And if I'm already pulling and something else sold before I woke up, after midnight and before I woke up, I'm just going to grab it. I'm already pulling inventory unless I'm pulling like 10 things. Old Navy swimsuit, paid like $3 for it, sold on sale for $21.24 plus shipping. So yeah, I hope this wasn't too long. That's what I sold on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. If you have any questions or if you want to see something else, like I said, if you're curious about shipping internationally, I'd be happy to do a video, talk about that. Well, that's all for today. I'm going to go and create some more drafts on eBay. I'm going to tackle my mountain. It's literally a mountain. I have a mountain of kids' vintage and current clothing to get listed. I decided I'm just going to go ham, attack it all. To be honest, I'm going to try moving most of it out at auction for a minimum, not too minimum, but a lower price in hopes just to get it moved, because I literally have like a pile next to me. I have like 110 pieces of kids' clothes. Yes, because I've been buying it here and there, and it's just added up, and I was like, oh, I'll get around to it. Well, this is the week where I'm going to start getting around to it. All right, guys, well, you have a good evening, and take care. Bye.